Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new League of Legends video. So Champion Mastery 6 and 7 have just very recently been added to the live servers. And if you're anything like me or probably a lot of other people, well, chances are you're playing your main champions, whether it's in normals with friends, maybe ranked, and you're trying to farm up those points. You're trying to get those rank 6 and rank 7 masteries. Because not only do they look really cool, but you can also use them in game, you can feel proud of yourself, and most importantly, you can brag to your friends about it. But at the same time, I feel like the explanations offered by Riot as to how to actually get these rank 6 and rank 7 masteries are fairly complicated. So in this video, I'll be giving you guys a simple explanation as to how to obtain these rank 6 and rank 7 masteries. I'll explain how the game determines whether or not you got S-, A, or S+, and the theory that I thought of to get those S ratings in an easier way. So right before we get into the topic, the question of this video is, which champion are you getting your rank 6 and rank 7 mastery on first? And if you end up enjoying this video and finding it useful or whatever, then definitely hit that like button. Alright, so let's first talk about how to get champion mastery level 6. And here's a quick example of it in game and just overall how it can look like. Pretty cool stuff. So first you need the champion mastery at level 5, and you get level 5 by simply just winning games with the champion. Once you do have level 5, you just simply have to go play a normal game on Summoner's Rift, so blind pick or draft pick, or play ranked. And once the game is finished, then you have to earn a rating of S- or higher, and then once you do, you get something that is called a mastery token for that champion. You need 2 mastery tokens, so 2 games where you get S- or higher with the champion that you have rank 5 of. And then you simply go into Hextech crafting, you combine both of those mastery tokens plus either 500 blue essences, a champion shard of the same champion, or the champion permanent of the same champion. As long as you have one of those 3 things plus your 2 mastery tokens, you simply combine it and there you have it, you have level 6 mastery. So it's pretty straightforward, but next let's talk about how to get champion mastery level 7. Now I haven't had the time to get level 7 yet, so shoutouts to Xtag for having this video demonstrating the level 7 mastery. But now the question is, how do I get level 7? Well, the steps required are pretty much the same as level 6, except now you need the champion, of course, at level 6 mastery to get level 7. But now you also need to obtain 3 mastery tokens, but you only get a mastery token if you get a rank of S or higher on the champion for that game. So S- is no longer an option, and it has to be S or S+. Then you go back to the Hextech crafting, you take your newly obtained 3 mastery tokens from getting S rank or higher, and you can either combine it again with a champion shard of the same champion, champion permanent, or 600 blue essence instead of 500. But just like the previous example, if you meet these requirements, then you simply press the combine button and there you have it, rank 7. Alright, so now that part is out of the way, you guys should have a pretty good understanding as to what exactly you need to do and how you need to do it in order to get rank 6 and rank 7 on your favorite champions. Now the next thing we'll be talking about is how exactly does Riot determine if you deserve an S- rank or higher, and my theory to make it easier to get an S rank or higher. Alright, so first off, how exactly does the game determine whether or not you deserve an S rating or maybe something lower or higher? Well, this is taken straight from the FAQ, so this is an official post, something that I feel like a lot of people probably did not read. But essentially the game takes the metrics based on the champion that you are playing and the role that you're playing them in. So for instance, playing Annie mid lane is completely different to playing Annie support in terms of how the game judges how well you performed and what rating will be given to you at the end of the game. Because obviously an Annie mid lane is going to be playing and having a much different score and CS count than an Annie support. It then takes all of these different metrics and how you performed overall in the game, your CS score, your KDA, your participation throughout the whole map and global objectives, and it compares it with other players playing the same champion in the same role in your region, I'm assuming close to your MMR or rating, and then based on how you performed compared to the average of that is what your rating is. So that right there is a very quick and simple explanation as to how the game determines what rank you get, and whenever you finish a game and you're always thinking, why didn't I get an A+, or why didn't I get an S? Well, now you have a better idea. You just probably simply did not play well enough compared to the average of the players that play that champion in that specific role. Now the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is a theory that I have that will make it easier to get those S- and above ranks. And here's what it is. So did you notice anything interesting about this specific FAQ answer? Well, to me, the fact that it says we look at any mid differently to any support is quite fascinating. And the reason I find that fascinating is because, well, how does the game determine whether or not you're playing any mid lane or any support? What exactly does it look at to really understand this? It's obviously not summoner spells, because you can take any summoner spells mid lane, they can take bot lane as support any. And it might not even be creep score, because what if you're just having an insanely bad game as any mid lane and you're just CSing very poorly compared to maybe support any? It's just too inconsistent information, though the creep score could still be a pretty good way to determine. But what I think the game actually does is it tracks your movement around the map. It tracks where you are and where you spend most of your time, maybe especially during the first 20 minutes, and from that it bases what your lane is. Because based on this example here from the match history, the map on the right shows a bunch of things happening throughout the game, when the dragons died, when kills happen in what parts of the map, so clearly the game is able to track your movement and where you spend your time throughout the game. But you're probably thinking, well, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool, but what exactly is the theory? Here it is. So, since the game is able to track where you're playing what champion, so for instance Zed in the mid lane, and it bases your performance as Zed in the mid lane to other people that have played Zed in the mid lane around your MMR, I'm assuming, based on just overall how well they played that game. What if you played Zed in the jungle, or even in the top lane? The game will then register you as playing Zed in the top lane, or as you playing Zed in the jungle. And then it'll base your statistics and your overall metrics with that game and your success with other people that played Zed in the jungle or Zed in the top lane. Obviously that's not very meta, and chances are a lot of the people that played those champions in those lanes were maybe even trolling, so they probably have really bad stats. And if you're able to play that champion to success, or at least somewhat decently in those roles, the metrics the game will be comparing yours to with other people is just not as intense. Or another example could be maybe you're just a god at Tryndamere support. Then technically if you're playing Tryndamere support, it should be easier for you to get Tryndamere S+ or S rating as a support champion, because, well, not only does no one else play it as a support, but chances are the people that have played it as a support were trolling, so their stats are really bad. So in theory, based on this and how the game will track what champion you're playing in what role and base your metrics off of that specific role and champion combination, this should in theory make it easier to get those higher rankings, those higher S or S+ rankings when you play champions in these roles. Now obviously the only negative thing of this is, well, if you decide to play Tryndamere support and all the other people that have played Tryndamere support in your region around your MMR just happen to be absolute legends at it, then it's obviously going to make things very, very difficult. But the chances of that happening probably aren't that high. So I don't know, guys, to me this makes sense. Based on the information provided, I don't see why this wouldn't make sense. But that is about it for this video. I mean, there you have it, a very simple explanation as to how to get rank 6 and rank 7 masteries for your favorite champions, how the game overall judges whether or not you deserve to get that S-, S, or S+ ranking, and my theory as to an easier way to get those S- and higher rankings. So if you guys did enjoy this video, let me know by hitting the like button, share this with your friends, let everyone else know about that sweet and juicy information in this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't and check out my other videos as well, and I hope to see you for the next video. Peace.